What's up, everybody? This is Johnny Basement, and we're back here in the basement, and we're going to go over to round one. It's here, the AFL, finally here. 3 months of doing stuff, 3 months of watching game replays, 3 months of trying to figure out what in the world is going on out there, and I'm confident with about 75% of what's going on out there on the field. I watched the Richmond Tigers versus the Carlton Blues round one opening match. I watched Collingwood versus the Geelong Cats, defending champions. I watched that one today. We're going to cover both games in this video today. I tried to do this with video of the games, but the AFL has copyrights all up and down the wall. They shut both videos down. I put a lot of effort into both of them yesterday, along with just highlights here and there, just some highlights here and there. And they shut them all down. I tried to reverse it and do it a different way with a different video. Copyrights shut down. It wouldn't even let me publish them. So that's why I'm a day late. I'm not live streaming at the moment. It's too early here in the household to be able to live stream. Like my Brisbane, my team, the team I picked. For all you guys that watched that video last week and me running around the field like an idiot, acting like I knew what I was doing and I didn't. Thank you all for watching that and your comments and supporting that. Brisbane Lions is my team. You know what time they're on here? They start tonight, 1:35 in the morning for me. That's why I'm not live streaming. I don't live alone. It would be unfair to the family in the house. I'll be doing a whole lot more reviews on these games and on the rounds. I'm going to do more than just the Lions, obviously. I'm just so proud to have this jersey. And the ball, I got the real Sharon size 5, real size of the football. Why am I wearing a Jets hat? You guys are all NFL ready. You guys that have your NFL knowledge. A lot of you guys were in my live streams during the Jet season. Aaron Rodgers, so I'm excited about the Brisbane Lions and what they have going on with the young team that they have, building up and going toward that grand final, which they're going to win this year. They're going to win it. They got the team to do it. If they don't, they'll win it next year. Same with the New York Jets. Now we got Aaron Rodgers. We'll be there in the first 2 years. We're also going to win a title. So I'm supporting both teams, and it's also because my Brisbane Lions hat didn't come in yet. So this works out anyway because it's Aaron Rodgers week on top of it. So we're going to combine both teams, and we're going to go forward with this today. This was exciting to me, and I jumped in, and a big shout out to Flex. Flex is an Aussie that has been very helpful to me, and yesterday when I got up at 4 in the morning to watch this first round, the app wasn't on yet because I didn't realize you need 48 hours to get the app. I got a membership through the Lions, and it took 48 hours to get the Watch AFL app going. That should be all through and done today. I actually called Brisbane last night. I called Brisbane right after the Rangers live stream, and it was very pleasant. They're great people, very helpful. I've been nothing but impressed with everything that I've had at the Lions shop, including sending this Guernsey. I had to send the original one back. It was too small. I guess the size differences. I'm a 2X. The 2X came in, and it wasn't even the right size. I mean, it was too tight. So I guess the Guernsey's made a little bit differently than some of the jerseys I'm used to getting from my own teams over here. But shipped it back. They sent the other one back. I've been nothing but impressed with the Brisbane Lions and their organization and the short time that I've been with them in membership. It's been incredible ride. So let's get right into this. And if you're new here, please subscribe, bell notice, like button. Keep this basement rolling toward 5,000 subs. That's the next short-term goal. We're going to go way above and beyond that. And thank you to all the Aussies that have been helping me along here, because you guys know this is my first season. You know I'm going to make the mistakes, but I learn from them. You guys always know. What do I have? What does Johnny always have? His notebook and his notes, which I pride myself on not using notes ever when I do my own teams. But this is new to me, and I'm trying to get it right. So I will pull out some notes from time to time on the Richmond Tiger Carlton game and the Collingwood game. We're getting into that. I know how much you all love Collingwood or hate them. I know they are the Yankees and the Cowboys of the AFL, which means it's a love or hate thing. There's no in-betweens. There's no neutral like, hey, when that kind of team is playing, Collingwood or the Yankees or the Cowboys, nobody sits there and says, well, I don't care who wins this game. Most people either say I want them to win or I want them to lose, and that's why people are watching, and that's why there's so many views nationally on these kind of games. It's not a neutral team where people just don't care about it. It's love or hate. Anyway, Richmond and Carlton came out. It's the 226th time these two teams have faced off against each other, which would in turn come out to a 58-58 draw. This is the third time they have had a draw. It's also, I found this very interesting because the minute I saw a draw to open up the season, I said, man, when was the last time that happened? It was in 1982, and coincidentally, it was also Carlton in that game as well. Against who? The Fitzroy Lions, before they combined with the Brisbane Bears and became the Brisbane Lions. See, I do some homework. I told you 75% of what's going on. I know. So it's been 41 years since we've even had a tie. And I think that draws, I found out, can actually help teams better in making the finals and getting to that top 8. In the NFL, I got to get some of that NFL stuff out of my head, because in the NFL, a tie will just jack everything up. It screws everything up, throws a wrench into the whole playoff picture. You do not want a tie in the NFL. In the AFL, I found out through a lot of you guys that it's actually a good thing. It's not bad. It can actually help you catapult into the finals of the top 8. So, Richmond last year did finish 7th on the ladder. Carlton just missed that top 8, finished in 9th. And neither one of them made the finals anyway. So we're going to blast this game off. The lead change was 5 times in this game. 5 times. It actually started out really good. The game started out great. I was intrigued right off the bat. And then the second quarter was like a downer. There wasn't much going on in there. It was very, very slow. And from watching from the game replays during the past couple of months, you guys that have been along my first AFL journey, know that I thought that score was relatively low, 58-58. Maybe it's because people are rusty. Maybe it's the season just started. Maybe they're just trying to get their feet under them. It happens in a lot of sports where some things just don't kick off that way. Dustin Martin came out in the first 2 minutes, scored the first. Of course, Dustin Martin, right? Dusty, I did a piece on him, so I know about him really well. He kicked that, made it 6-0, and then it was Zach Fisher that came back for the Blues and tied it back up 6-6. So I said, man, this is going to be a game right off the bat. These two teams are going at it right off the bat. And I'll tell you what, the couple of sloppy plays. There was a couple of sloppy plays as well. Jack Graham apparently had a toe injury in the preseason. Maybe that's the reason why he missed 2 wide open shots. Wide open. How can you miss that stuff? And then I found out he had a toe injury, so maybe that was what the problem was. And interestingly enough, Lynch missed a goal earlier in the game. Somehow missed a goal that was like straight up. It was a straightforward set shot. That's what it's called, straightforward set shot. I'm going to get these terms down. He missed it, but who was the winner at the end of this game? I went through that video at the end of this game for Carlton, and that Lynch jumped up and got that mark. 4 Blues were around him. 4 guys were around him, and he came down with that ball when really it looked like the Blues had this game. Looked like they had this game, no problem, right? Because they should have gotten that mark, and they didn't. Lynch got the mark. He got it. Had to get that free kick in, and he had ice in his veins, and he hit that kick. And I have seen some now. I have seen some where they aim for that goal, and you end up with the behind. He got that behind. That game was over. He hit it, though, and there was still about 17 or 18 seconds left on the clock. When you have time like that on the clock, in mostly every sport, it's still a lot of time, but everything has to happen. Bang, bang, bang. Has to happen right away. Everybody has to line up. Things have to happen perfectly, and you need a little bit of luck to get that goal in those last 17 seconds. And one thing I'm really enjoying about the AFL, really enjoying, no timeouts, no a million reviews, none of that stuff that I see in the NFL that I love. I love the NFL, but I've noticed here, and a lot of you guys have pointed out, besides the no pads part, that the clock keeps running. Game keeps playing. The refs let the guys play the game. They're not stop and play. You hardly see play stoppage unless someone got injured, or if it's just a flat out looking at a review on the goal, which also I like. Instant replay is great, but just for goals, for points, not for penalties and just things that get out of control, just way out of control. Here, Lynch got that ball, man. He kicked that, and then Carlton got it back, couldn't get down the field. The game resulted in a 5-5, a 58-58 draw. I found it interesting because I know there's extra time given in the grand final. I personally, even if it does help you get into the top 8, I still prefer not to have ties. I don't like draws. I don't like ties. Someone's got to win the game. Someone's got to lose the game. I know it's helpful because both teams get 2 points apiece for the draw. See, in the NFL, when you tie, there is no points. There's no points. Points are in hockey, not in football. So they don't have any. That's why the tie really screws them up. But in the point system, Both teams getting 2. I know somebody wanted to win, hear that club song and the fight songs and all that after Siren. Good stuff, which I did here in Collingwood, which we're about to get to in a minute. If I chop this guy's last name up, some of you guys should be used to me doing that. So if I do it, I apologize in advance. But Jack Revolt is the first. There's another record set in this match. Jack Revolt is the first player to become a part of 8 games that ended in a draw. There's been multiple players from 1 through 7, but Jack is the first one to hit 8 draws in his illustrious career. This guy is no scrub player. This guy is a great player. He's a 3-time Premiership player, 3-time All-Australian, 3-time Coleman Award winner, and he's 11 times the leading goal kicker for their team. So this guy, and I think he's the Tasmanian Hall of Famer. I think he's in the Tasmania Hall of Fame. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I read that correctly. But we're in the basement, so who knows if I read that correctly or not. I'm sure you guys will be informing me. And I understand as well that this Brisbane Lions Clash, just jumping off the air for a second, this Clash jersey is new because usually it's blue on top. This is nice. I love it. Just going back to the game now. So he did, and Jack... well-respected player. Wow, he has got some records up and down the wall. He's got a real presence out there. So I was pretty impressed with what I saw about him. And he's a 2-time Jack Dyer Award winner. I knew there was another one in there. I tried not to look at my notes, and I had to look at him anyway. So that was it. I liked the game because it's my first AFL season. So I really enjoyed watching that first game. Now, some people in comments I've noticed just going through different AFL outlets and different AFL videos and write-ups and anywhere that fans, real fans, Aussie fans that have been watching this for a long time, comments. I was interested in seeing what people thought of the draw to open up the round and the low score. And it seems like there was some people that really loved it. Loved the fact that footy was back. Loved the fact that these 2 teams were out there battling. There's other people saying that this is one of the most boring games. Now, for me, I'm only judging it by being in the AFL for the first season, so I don't have a lot of background to judge it against. I thought it was a pretty exciting opening round game. Thought it was a pretty exciting one. Until Collingwood and Geelong, the defending champion Geelong Cats and Collingwood played. Then I noticed the difference between the first game I saw, Richmond Tiger, to the Collingwood Magpies. Then I saw a huge difference. This game brought fire. This game brought tenacity. This game brought ugliness. This game brought injuries. This game brought battles. You can see the bad blood between these 2 teams. And I assume just from when I was picking my Final Four teams, before I even picked Brisbane, when I had my Final Four, Collingwood was a part of that Final Four. The flack that I caught, because everybody assumed that me being an American and Mason Cox being an American left a 6-figure job here in America to go over and play a sport that he had never even played before. I did a video on Mason Cox. I'm not going to go on about him long. If you want to see it, it's in my videos along along my timeline. Mason Cox left a 6-figure guaranteed job in America to go play footy. He knew nothing about it. He didn't have any family or friends in Australia. He knew nobody, and he took a chance and went over there, left that job. Took a monster risk halfway across the world from Texas. So everybody assumed, Johnny's going to support Mason Cox and the Collingwood because he's an American. Collingwood's a huge team. Johnny's a Yankee fan, right? So we go with the teams that are loved or hated because they are. They're loved or hated. There's no in between. We went over that. But no, I wasn't picking them. Wasn't everybody, so many people swear I was going to pick them, and I didn't pick them. Because the same kind of reason that Geelong I couldn't pick because they just won the grand final, and Sydney was in the grand final. You can't pick teams like that. They just look bandwagonish. Collingwood, that would kind of be of a bandwagon kind of move too. It's really the only reason why I didn't pick them either. They is a kind of a bandwagon move. Collingwood and Americans on the team. Well, that seems like that would just be the team to go. No, I really put a lot of work and research into it. So anyway, Collingwood and the Cats went at it today, and it was extremely exciting to set off the bat. 11 goals right off the bat in the first quarter. 11 in the first quarter. 6 for the Cats, 5 for Collingwood. The Cats really controlled this game for quite a bit of time. They really did. They led through 3 quarters in this game. Through 3 quarters they led in this game. Before we get into how it ended, I want to touch on a couple things when it comes to injuries and the differences between the countries. Not the countries, but the leagues. I got to get the NFL out of my head with a lot of things when I'm watching AFL, because there's things I'm learning along this route that is taken. It's just completely different. That's why I said I got to go in here with just every other NFL reference I have has got to be out of my brain, including when the guy is like out of bounds. So like if this line here is if this is all out of bounds, I realize now. I used to think when the guy's here, but the ball's still over here. The Sharon is still over here. That's inbounds, but my body's out of bounds. This is inbounds. In the NFL, you step right here, you're already out of bounds. That's it. You step half foot in, half foot out. You're out. So a lot of times I was getting confused. I'm like, that guy's out of bounds. What are you doing? How come they don't see that? How come they don't see that? How come they don't see that? Now I realize that it's me, that I don't know what's going on. So now I do. But things like that I've been learning along the way. Now, when it comes to injuries, Jeremy Howe injury, I wish the best for him. His arm snapped in that game. Snapped. It came down when he had his arms coming down. His elbow buckled underneath. However, he broke his arm clean on live TV. We saw it. You know what the big difference is between the NFL and the AFL? Guys, the medical team ran out to Jeremy Howe, helped him right away, made sure he was set, secure, his arm was in place. And they got him off the field. They didn't replay it. They didn't glorify it. They said it was too gruesome to show replays. Now, it was a bad injury, no doubt. It was a bad injury. Now, and the game resumed. I think there was a 7 or 8 minute delay. I was very impressed with how quickly they got to Jeremy Howe. I was very impressed on how they didn't glorify the injury by getting the ratings even higher by saying, hey, we're going to replay this 500 times. That's what would have happened over here. And not just the NFL, regardless of the sport. Football, basketball, hockey, baseball, whatever. They're going to replay that same or worse over and over and over and over and over. Then go to commercial break. Then come back and we'll watch the refs for another 20 minutes looking at replays and who's going to get suspended, who's going to get fined, was it legal hit, was it not a legal hit, is this guy going to be injured, can he come back in? Then we're going to go back to commercials for another 5 minutes. Then we're going to come back to I'm not even kidding, I'm not even exaggerating, maybe a little bit. But this is what would happen with the same type of injury in American sports. They will glorify it. They will show that replay 900 times just to make sure you saw every angle of his arm breaking. I kid you not. And then we'll go back to commercial. And you guys watch the NFL. You guys are in my live streams. I know you guys watch the game, so you know what I'm talking about. It's insanity. I love the fact that they didn't glorify the man's injury. They didn't look for the extra ratings and the extra replays and all the reviews and all that stuff and flags. There would have been 500 flags on the field. Jeremy Howe was taken off the field. We got updates during the game about how he was doing, and that's how it should be. Shouldn't glorify people's injuries, man. I don't think it's cool. I don't like it. And it's what sells. It is what sells. I'm not going to go on about that for a long time. That was one thing that really struck me, is that the man had a gruesome injury and it wasn't glorified. It wasn't shown over and over and over and over and over like we do over here. It wasn't shown that way. Very impressed. There's a lot of things I'm learning and enjoying this journey that I am on, and you guys going with me and correcting me when I make the mistakes. I'm real appreciative. So that was a big loss for Collingwood. Jeremy Howe, I did a video on him as well. You can check it out. Amazing player, man. Amazing defenseman. Amazing player. One of the best in the game. Since we're on the injury thing, the Cats, Geelong, the Cats, had 2 devastating injuries as well, and they were weird. They had Tony Stewart and DeConing. I didn't want to screw up DeConing's last name, and I might have. Anyway, DeConing. These two guys had weird injuries, man. It's just, unfortunate injuries. Like Stewart, if you were watching the game, which I know you guys were watching the game, like if you were watching. I know you guys were watching it. He kind of slid like that, and his ankle rolled out from underneath him. I didn't want to do that to myself. You see that? I didn't want to do that to myself. Now, he almost rolled his ankle right there. He got a weird, fluky, freaky kind of injury that the field can cause, but it was in play. It was in play. The weird one was the coning. He just kind of, you just see him, he's kind of going back, and he fell backwards. There was no player around him. No one touched him. No one was near him. And he fell backward. And he came hobbling off the field. Both of them have knee issues. They both have knee issues. I don't know to what extent. But they were just freaky injuries that can happen to anybody in these kind of games. Anybody can get injured like that. Unfortunately, it happened to two Cats players, and I really think that's what hurt them. I think that's what hurt them in this game. The momentum kind of took a turn. The defending champion Cats had the lead through 3 quarters. 3 quarters, the game was in hand. In hand. The fourth quarter came around, and Collingwood just hit the springboard and took off, outscoring them 32-9 in the fourth quarter. To win by 22 points, they won 125-103. I mean, Geelong had this game in hand. That fourth quarter, and that's where losing your players to injuries hurt them. Definitely hurt them on defense. 32-9 in the fourth quarter, getting outscored. That put Collingwood caught up beyond. The score just kept going like this, and then after a while, like, all right, well, there's still time on the clock. There's 6 minutes left in the game. We still got time here, and every time we're watching the game saying, hey, we still got time. I didn't have a dog in the fight. I'm learning the game. I'm watching as much as I can. Watch as I can and keeping in focus and keeping on the straight and narrow of these games. So I'm going to watch them all. This is my team, but I'm going to be reviewing rounds. I am going to be reviewing them. Maybe two games at a time, whatever. Watching that fourth quarter, Collingwood exploded. They were 32-9. That is just, you knew after a while Geelong was done. They were just done. Those injuries really crushed them. And, losing a couple of star players like that, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. And it did. It really did hurt them. They had, oh, yes. I wanted to bring up another last name. Nick and Josh Diaco, the brothers. How about that, man? Nick came off he was a 22 Rising Star. He won the Rising Star in 2022. He had he had 35 disposals. 35 disposals in the game, 579 meter time. And his brother had 27 disposals. That factored in big time to this game. It really factored in. These two brothers were going off. And how about Oliver Henry? Getting drafted by Collingwood, I believe, in 2020. Asked for a trade in 2022, last year. Asked for it to be traded away from Collingwood and traded to the Cats so he could play with his brother, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's so he could play with his brother on the Cats. He was kind of going back and forth with the crowd a little bit. The Collingwood crowd was all over him. They were all over him. They were heckling him. He was like standing there like with them going back. You could see when he was playing on and kicking in, that crowd was like right where that couch is, right where the Jets of the Yankee symbol is. The crowd was right there. They were heckling him. The Collingwood fans were heckling him. It happens over here too. You leave a team, especially a big-time team. If you left the Boston Red Sox and went to the Yankees and the Yankees go to Boston to play, that former Boston player, you're going to hear it, and vice versa. They're going to hear it. They're going to hear it big time if they weren't a respected player to begin with. I don't know. But that's when you ask to be traded from a team, from a monster, major team like that, that's where the player's going to get booed regardless of the sport of the city or the country. That's just the way it happens. That's how it goes down. So those two guys definitely factored in. They were definitely getting heckled there. And I think that was pretty much it. 22-point victory, yeah. So this was a real, that was it. The fights in the beginning. I knew there was another part. Tui with the fights in the beginning. How about that? Irish guy on St. Patrick's Day getting in a fight. How about that on the field? There was a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of hatred. That was really what led up. It really did live up to the billing. So when I watched the Richmond Tiger game, which was an exciting game for me because it was my first game, I was so excited for March 16th to get here that I really enjoyed that game. But I know the further I go along, I might be able to understand why some in the comments that I've seen through random videos on the reviews weren't very happy. It said it wasn't a good game. Now I'm not I'm new, so I don't know. But after judging it to today's game, now I really see this game today was fireworks all the way through. Tui ended up with 2 goals in the game. He had 2, and a few other players had some multiple goals in there. But it was just a real fun experience, guys. Real fun experience. I'm still going to try to find ways to match up so we can show some highlights in these videos along with me talking so we can go together right through the whole thing. But I'm enjoying this. I'm on a journey. I love sports. I'm a die-hard fan with my own teams. Rangers, Jets, Yankees, Knicks. I know them inside and out. That's where I'm going to be with this sport. Not only with this team, but with this sport. I am so thrilled to be here with you guys and be on this journey. And we're going to be vlogging. We're going to go up to the Bronx. We're going to see the US AFL New York Magpies team. We're going to see how it works around here. Now, I know they have no oval here, but they do play in huge parks. Beautiful, huge parks. If you want to see what the Magpies play, they play in Van Cortlandt Park in the Bronx. We go Bronx, New York. I'm going to be going there. We're going to be checking them out. We're going to be vlogging. Not everything in here is going to be in the basement. The reviews of the games probably will be, but traveling around and checking out these teams, that is going to be vlogging, and it's going to be a lot of fun here. You guys, please continue on this journey with me in the AFL and getting to know this better and better and better. And by the end of this season, these videos are going to be way better than what it is right now. That's a guarantee. I know it, but I'm not going to shy away from it because I got to tell you, when those videos were shut down yesterday, I was like, what am I going to do? I can do this here, no problem with any one of my regular teams. I could do this without video all day long. So I had to put extra work in here and really look down the stats, really look down. And just from watching the games, I retain a lot. But when you're watching the games, you got to write things down. I got to write them down. I know the younger generation's like, oh, you just put make a spreadsheet or whatever else. This is the spreadsheet right here. There you go. That's the spreadsheet. When you're my age, that's the spreadsheet. So, I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are here with me, that you guys are helping me out in this incredible sport. What athleticism out there these guys have. What passion for the sport. There was 88,084 people at that opening Richmond Tiger game. There was 86,000 and change here at the Collingwood game. So this is going to be a fun season. It's going to be interesting. We've only had 2 matches so far. I will be doing a review on my Brisbane Lions game tomorrow. That game, I'm going to watch the replay on the app. I'm not going to be up at 1:30 in the morning. Not going to be up at 1:30 in the morning to watch the game. Not going to do it. I can't do it, man. If I was a lot younger, I'd be doing that, but I can't do that. I'll do a replay of the game. I'm going to watch it in full. And then I'm going to get on here and we're going to do it. I'm going to see some other angles. If you guys know of other avenues you have with videos where we can show some highlights while I'm talking, please tell me. I know all the stuff I need for my own teams over here, but now that I'm jumping in here, I'm going to rely on you guys to assist me in this journey. I'm very thrilled that you guys are with me in this journey. What a great time I've had with these last 2 games. What a great time that I've had, again, to all the people out there that have been helping me. And if I leave your name out, I really apologize. It's nothing personal. I can't remember everything. But Flex and Bond and Tony and Wayback and a whole bunch of other Aussies that are in my Discord and so on. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Flip! Try to see when I start naming names that I'm going to get off here. I'm going to feel bad when I see somebody's name. Be like, oh, I forgot him. It's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. You guys have been tremendous. And Mick, see, I'm starting to name names as we're going along. These are guys that follow me regularly. They're in my live streams regularly amongst a whole bunch of other people. But these are the guys that have been helping me out in the Aussie Rules football. Really, really, really enjoying this, guys. Please subscribe, hit that bell notice, hit the like button, help this basement get to 5,000 subs. Got ideas, throw them at me. You got help, throw them at me. You got critique, throw it at me. Let me know. You got the comments, you guys do it all. Thank you so much for putting me on this footy journey this season. Let's have a great time with this. We're going to be in the basement. We're going to be out there. We're going to be outdoors, and I'm doing another one of these videos is coming with me in the field, and we're going to get this thing down. We're going to get it down. We're going to get it down. So there'll be another vlogging day of me out in that field with my son on the camera, and we are going to be better. We're going to get better at this, guys. I'm Johnny Basement, and I am out. Go Lions. That was supposed to go better than that. Of course, it's the last part of the ball that we find, right? Go Lions, guys. I'll see you later.